But next video we got right now is the downfall of modern SpongeBob characters by Sponge Truths.
Modern SpongeBob characters are loud, chaotic, and flat. Back then, every single character felt special. But today, they're barely recognizable. Where did it all go wrong?
See, but I haven't watched modern SpongeBob. I think the last time I put SpongeBob on was like to just like chill, like to have background noise, and it wasn't anything new because I don't want to like not pay attention to something I've never seen. I don't know. I'm kind of like different like that. Like, so I just put on old rerun episodes.
There was a time when
The animation does look super weird though. Super weird.
SpongeBob felt special. He wasn't just funny, he was real.
Like that's
Not in the
animation
realistic
I'm used
sense,
to.
obviously, he's a sponge working at a fast food joint. But we used to feel connected with him. His character was cheerful most of the time, yeah, but there were times when he also got nervous, confused, even embarrassed. He cared when people didn't like him. He wanted to be good at his job, to be respected, to make people proud, especially Mr. Krabs.
Especially Mr. Krabs. This man is fraudulent and sold SpongeBob's soul for less than $1. Less than $1. Less than $1. Think about that. I don't understand why SpongeBob works for him this whole time. A good role model, I think. You know, he sticks to his job, sticks to his guns, loyal. Even Patrick left on No SpongeBob Day. Fake as fuck. I don't mess with Patrick for that. And
His
having
character is so
sense.
dynamic because there are so many emotions packed into one sponge. Often in a single episode, his mood could change quickly in just a few seconds.
Or am I gonna have
We could see it since the very first episode of Help Wanted. SpongeBob is excited to start his new job as a fry cook at the Krusty Krab.
with a help wanted sign in the window? For years I've been dreaming.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if it has the same animation, but it just made me think about this. The episode with the amoebas, the house eating amoebas or whatever, and they just put like the skull on the Krusty Krab and all that shit. I don't like that episode. I don't like it. Or the worm. Ouch. I don't like that.
Of this moment.
This is an interesting
I like the weird animal. I just thought about it too. When SpongeBob buys like because Gary's a cat. I don't know what the animal like represented in Bikini Bottom, but he buys that other animal and it grows humongous and it's like gooey and it has all the other babies. Fuck that episode.
detail because he knows that he was being excited and thinking he might be getting ahead of himself, so he's losing confidence. This kind of detail is the reason why kids, even adults, feel connected to him. SpongeBob didn't just act like a kid, he felt like one. He thinks like a kid, he behaves like a kid.
I will say he's going like representing SpongeBob as a kid. SpongeBob is canonically 30 plus years old. I think even when the show started, he was an adult. Maybe in his 20s. But the last time I checked, SpongeBob's old.
Even living his life like a kid. That's what makes his character funny in the first place. Seeing a naive kid trying to fit into an adult environment with the most ridiculous ways possible is the jokes. SpongeBob was the anchor of the
That's
show's
facts,
heart.
though. That's facts.
His positivity balanced the
give them that.
cynicism of Squidward, the stupidity of Patrick, and the greed of Mr. Krabs. We could see this also when he tried so hard to deliver that pizza, even
Love
after
that
being
episode.
stranded in the middle of nowhere.
The Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me. Goated song.
He doesn't want to fail Mr. Krabs for giving the job to him.
Not a bull.
That optimism was honest.
It's a rock.
It came from effort, not just volume. The first SpongeBob SquarePants movie is probably the last time we saw this version of SpongeBob.
I love this movie. Good ass character. These two are funny as shit. These two hillbillies that they see on the porch. Also, even though he was the villain right here behind the chat, I thought this dude was awesome. When he ripped off his mask and he had a handlebar mustache, that dude was goated.
Right after the first movie, SpongeBob character became somewhat
But that old ice cream fucking lady was not. That creeped me the fuck out as a kid.
energetic. They pushed the joke into different directions, using slapstick jokes with lots of gross stuff
That still
and
even got me.
uncomfortable visuals.
I can't believe that actually made me laugh. I love that pick. I have the weakest stomach out of anybody I know. in that episode, I like can't watch. Maybe when I was younger, I was like too fucking stupid to even like look at it. Look at his thumb. I was like too stupid to realize what was going on in my head, and I was more scared about the fact that I can get a splinter than the pus coming out. But when I see that now, I want to throw up. I hate it.
They also take advantage of the joke that SpongeBob laughs are unique.
this.
To some people, it's a funny experience, but when it's used continuously with each episode, they start to force it into the joke, which makes it annoying. And fast forward to the present. Today's SpongeBob feels emotionless, to say the least. It feels like he performs those emotions. He laughs because that's what SpongeBob does, not because anything's actually funny. It's just obnoxiously loud. Somehow it feels like they
That looked like it sucked, like horribly. That looked terrible.
dumbed down on the show overall. Instead of properly
That was
setting up
funny, though.
jokes, they used more and more random slapstick jokes to get as many laughs as possible. It's all noise and weird expressions, all the time.
I will say, I will say though, that's like kind of the not pinnacle. I just feel like there wasn't as many like actual jokes, like spoken jokes, beside like from SpongeBob. There was like Mr. Krabs. What is his name? Yeah, the Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman, like he's funny. Squidward's funny. Mr. Krabs is funny. The pedestrians are funny. There's a lot of funny characters, like joke wise. I don't think SpongeBob's one of them, nor Patrick maybe. They say stupid shit, but their faces, like that whole episode where they're trying to like stretch out their face and shit, and Mr. Krabs like it'll get stuck like that. Like that episode's funny, and that's because the faces. Or like that gross ass picture they showed earlier. Like I think that is one of the peaks of this show though. But this is stupid. This sucks.
Which is probably to always keep people engaged, especially the kids. Because kids nowadays have short attention spans. So maybe the show writer tried to keep them hooked every 10 seconds with a weird face expression, just like scrolling through social media. The show stopped asking us to feel with him and started begging us to laugh at him. We rarely see SpongeBob having a monologue with himself these days. His character stops being self-conscious, and it shows. Instead of a
I don't know though if the show ever asked like for the audience to feel with SpongeBob. Because like if you think about it, I mean it's more so that you're invested into the character in the episode, and then something bad happens to him, and you're like, oh that sucks, or oh that's funny, or I love that. I don't think it's so much as to like each and every episode is like trying to pull something from you. I don't think that. I think he might be a little wrong there. As somebody who's grown up watching SpongeBob, I don't feel that way. But I haven't watched it in a while, so maybe I'm the wrong one. I don't know. I will always say I might be the stupidest person in the room.
character with real feelings, we got a hyperactive mascot. And it's pretty sad to see. The noise gets louder, but the heart gets quieter. And if SpongeBob is the chaos
They
engine,
brought Kevin back.
then Patrick is the wrecking ball. Patrick is a dumb sea star. That's not a secret.
Facts.
But there was something endearing about it. He was SpongeBob's ride or die best friend. Sweet.
Like I said, no, he's not. Why does he have to leave on No SpongeBob Day? That was maybe a moment where like they're asking you to feel bad for him because why did his best friend leave? Squidward, obvious. He's like the angry old man neighbor to SpongeBob. Mr. Krabs, I guess you sold his soul. But like I understand SpongeBob's, the most SpongeBob's got to be the most popular resident. If everybody leaves, everybody goes on vacation because of one dude, that's aura. Having the whole town for yourself. I know he was confused, but I would remember that day and start robbing everybody. Okay, leave SpongeBob Day. TVs, phones, copper wires. I'm acting like a crackhead out there. Copper wires, pipes. Give me everything. And then when you all come back and the dude at the scrapyard and the pawn shop open back up, I'm going right in there and making bank, and I'm quitting the Krusty Krab. But for him to be his most loyal best friend, Doodlebop was more loyal.
loyal and goofy in a way that made you want to protect him. His
Sandy's more loyal. She did leave though, so fuck her too.
brain wasn't exactly firing on all cylinders, but there was a weird wisdom there. It's not about winning, it's about fun. Or that iconic line,
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
I love that video. Or that scene.
in the early episodes like Big Pink Loser, we saw him try and fail numerous times. He's not giving up simply because he wants to accomplish something.
I don't feel for him though. I don't feel for him this episode. You see the hat that he has on? Where do you get that idea from? His next door neighbor? No. Nobody likes Squidward like that besides SpongeBob. Maybe the other one, his best friend. Or I guess SpongeBob's best friend, because clearly SpongeBob's not his best friend if he dipped out on him like that. But he's biting SpongeBob's swag. Clearly he wouldn't even have the idea to work here if it weren't for his best friend. And he can't work here. He's incompetent.
A trophy.
I'm not riding for
Though
Patrick.
he ends up getting one himself for literally not
Look at his outfit. Look at his outfit. Look at his outfit. And he's got that dumbass trophy on his head that he didn't deserve.
doing anything. Yeah, it's weird, but it's also a heartwarming resolution for his character. It's better to be yourself rather than to be someone else just because you want to be recognized. He wasn't smart, but he cared for people around him. And when he messed up, it came from misunderstanding, not
The
malice.
Suds episode.
But somewhere along the way, Patrick's character went off the rails. He didn't just get dumber, he got mean. Where his stupidity used to come from innocence, now it comes from apathy. He started being selfish, destructive, and honestly, kind of toxic. Instead of helping SpongeBob, he started hurting him on purpose or through mindless
Yeah, but he's saying this like the modern SpongeBob. This is old. There's plenty of old episodes where Patrick's a dickhead.
recklessness. They took the one thing
Like when he was like high, he was in his bed. I remember the scene. SpongeBob opens the rock, comes in, Patrick's sleeping, and he's got the thing. Oh wait, didn't actually? No, yeah, he's got the thing in his drawer. SpongeBob finds it, and he's like, "What?" And Patrick's like, "That was my gift to you." Whole time it wasn't. He lied to his best friend's face.
kids
He's
love,
always been
Patrick's dumb,
shiesty.
and cranked it up until it swallowed everything else. These days, Patrick is
Who the fuck
basically a
was that?
walking disaster. He breaks things, hurts people, and shrugs it off like it's part of the joke. And the worst part? The show plays it off like it's funny. It's not. Like in Pet Sitter Pat, he nearly kills Gary through sheer neglect. That is the joke for the whole episode. Early Patrick would have felt bad. New Patrick just shrugs, drools, and continues to break something else.
Would he though?
In the recent episode, Pet the Rock from
know.
season 14, Patrick just became somewhat psychotic.
SpongeBob!
What was that about? Is he getting
Actually,
PBA
though,
disorder like
what
the
was
Joker
that?
now? That's the joke? Patrick cannot control his emotions anymore? Later in the episode, Patrick is taking his pet rock to the park. And guess what?
He's always had like that's not his first pet rock. 'Cause wasn't the one in that Olympic race games, wasn't that his rock too? And it didn't go anywhere?
Whoa, Rolly! You want to play with everyone today!
This guy just pummeled
still
everyone in the park out of
humorous, it's
nowhere.
just not
And that's supposed to be funny?
Hilarious like it used
When
to
you make
be.
a character so stupid that they lose empathy, they stop being fun to watch. In earlier episodes,
is true,
Patrick was
though.
at least competent enough to do simple stuff. Now it feels like he's too stupid to function. He's not funny because he's confused anymore. He's funny because he's a problem. Sure, the show tries to give him emotional moments now and then, but they fall flat because the groundwork isn't there anymore. You can't care about a character who's been written into a mean joke too many times.
See, that's like what it's not the problem, but like the antithesis, I think is the word, to Patrick's character back then was like he was almost just dumb enough to not realize what he's doing is wrong sometimes. Almost dumb enough. So he eventually comes back around. But from what this guy's saying, it just seems like is too stupid to ever realize.
And with
Which I-
Patrick turning into a
yes, it does
wrecking
ruin
ball,
his character.
Squidward turns into a punching bag. Squidward was
Punching
never
bag?
meant to be a hero, but for a lot of us, he kind of became one. In the city full of absurdity, Squidward's cynicism became a sort of reality check. He was tired, underappreciated, stuck in a job he hated, and surrounded by people he didn't understand. He was us on a Monday morning, just trying to get through it without losing it completely. And honestly,
I will say that though, like Squidward is the person, like is the most human character in the show. Like he's the only character that has like normal reactions to the weird shit happening. I will say that though. I'll give him that. I actually do like Squidward. I think I always have liked Squidward. I don't think he's a bad character.
he handled it better than most of us would. But underneath all that
Even though
bitterness,
he's
there was
dog shit at
ambition,
playing the clarinet.
sensitivity, even sadness. Sometimes he just lost it, and I wouldn't blame him. It's not easy being Squidward.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bad music.
But here's the thing. Squidward's pain is not the punchline. Episodes like Squidville showed us that Squidward wasn't just a grump. He was a guy trying to find meaning, trying to chase something better. But he kept getting dragged down by conditions, which is funny, but also kind of heartbreaking. And when he won, like in Band Geeks, it felt huge.
That's one of the this is one of the greatest episodes of the show. No doubt about that.
Like watching someone finally catch a break after years of chaos. These ups and downs in his story are the essence of his character. His trait of cynicism is caused by years of failure and frustration. This is also the reason why many of us felt related with Squidward's story when we grew up, because he is the regular person in the show. Those little victories, they mattered. But now, he doesn't win. Ever. Squidward stopped being a character and started being a crash test dummy. Every episode, he suffers. He's humiliated, injured, embarrassed, sometimes for no
This is
reason other
really
than
what happens
SpongeBob
now?
and Patrick existing near him. My guy can't catch a break. You don't get it. He's a funny character because he's sassy and cynical even when he hits rock bottom. Not because we love to see him getting tortured.
I love when he's homeless.
Episodes
I
like
don't
Ink
love when he's
Lemonade
homeless,
don't
but
just push the joke, they grind it into the ground. SpongeBob and Patrick discover that every time Squidward gets jumped or scared, he's spewing out his ink, which
I feel like I remember this episode. This can't be too new. Oh, actually, I watched this episode because I wanted to see what the fuck was going on with new SpongeBob. Yeah, this episode is weird.
turns out to be delicious.
That's delicious.
They continue to scare Squidward
Like, did you just see like the position that they just had him in? Look at Patrick for one. What the fuck is going on? And then, what is this? What is this? And then we'll get to
That's
Squidward.
delicious.
They continue
What is that? Like, is that tissue through both sides of his nostrils?
to scare Squidward to death just so they could sell Squidward
I-
ink to people.
yeah.
What the?
Modern SpongeBob is
Aside from the joke,
trash.
I kind of felt bad for him. They just milked him for the whole episode. Maybe milking him wasn't the right word, but you get what I mean. At this
They
point,
inked him.
Squidward could fall into a volcano, and the show would probably add a fart sound and call it a day. No lesson,
I
no
thought
moment,
I farted.
just pain.
What the?
In the old seasons, when Squidward got hurt, it usually felt earned. Because he was being arrogant or dismissive, now he just gets punished for existing, and it's exhausting to watch.
I think my favorite episode, besides the Sweet Victory episode, with Squidward is when they're building snow forts and Squidward's so high up that he's fighting against himself, and they're like, "What the fuck is up with him?" And they
In
just go
season
and have
13
hot
alone,
chocolate.
there are at least 5 episodes where SpongeBob tortures Squidward as a main focus of the story. It could be more, since I haven't yet watched every episode. You can only watch someone lose so many times before it stops being funny and just starts feeling cruel. And when
I've
every
never seen
pain
some of
turns
these
into a
episodes
joke,
before.
none of them stick. But you know what's also painful? Seeing your boss turn into a capitalist. Mr. Krabs has always been about money. That's nothing new. But early on, his greed was simply a bad habit. not all that he was. Yeah, he was cheap.
That's a lie. I feel like that's a lie. His greed, I think, is what encapsulates him. I don't think it was a bad habit. He never felt bad about being greedy. He literally counts his money every single day and had, I think, something happened where it was like the change drawer was too short and he had Squidward put his money in.
Sure, he exploited his employees a little, but deep
A
down,
lottle.
he had heart. He is a proud business owner and cares about his daughter. Sometimes we could see him being a father figure to SpongeBob. In episodes like Sleepy Time, Mr. Krabs dreamed about sailing with his daughter. Or Welcome to the Chum Bucket, where we saw that he cared about SpongeBob. And for a split second, money doesn't really matter. These little
That's
details
crazy.
in
I
the
don't
story
remember
really
that.
showcase Krabs' personality outside the work environment. He had a history, a daughter, even regrets as a father. He could be selfish, but he wasn't soulless. There were lines he wouldn't
He made
cross,
SpongeBob
especially
soulless.
for the closest person. Then, post-movie,
62
especially by
cents, I think.
season 7 and beyond, greed took over everything. Those lines disappeared. And what used to be a flaw became a full-blown personality. Literally.
There's literally a whole episode where he rewinds the guy's brain for watching TV. I think that whole episode is about him being greedy. He rewinds his brain or rewinds his eyes from ever watching the TV because it's costing him too much money.
As the show progressed, Mr. Krabs' character underwent a process known as flanderization, where his negative traits were amplified and became the dominant aspect of his personality. The worst part is how the show treats his relationship with SpongeBob. He used to respect SpongeBob's loyalty. Now he takes advantage of it.
What'd that
Relationship with
say?
SpongeBob. He used to respect
Krabby Chronicle Krabs overworks employee reaps rewards.
SpongeBob's
That's always
loyalty.
been happening,
Now he
though.
takes advantage.
Like that. That's like Mr. Krabs' whole thing with SpongeBob working there is like he just works him. He had them working till they were dead. SpongeBob was sweeping with the top side of the broom as a skeleton with Squidward.
Of it.
Those
SpongeBob
aren't new
practically
episodes
worships
either.
the
Those
guy.
are old. 'Cause I remember
And
being
Krabs just
little watching
manipulates
those.
him, underpays him, and throws him under the bus whenever it's convenient. The charm is gone. What was once a greedy but lovable boss has turned into a one-note character with zero emotional weight. Want more convincing proof? The official channel of SpongeBob SquarePants itself made a compilation clip of Best of Mr. Krabs being a dad a while ago. And guess what? There are no clips from season 9 or after. The most recent episode they used in the video is from Barnacle Face from season 8. They couldn't find a dad moment in the later seasons because there are no more wholesome moments after season 8. Just an old, greedy crustacean. And that's the issue. When every decision a character makes is about money, you can't tell real stories with them anymore.
I don't know if I feel that way though. Because I feel like there's a lot that happens. I mean, I guess it's just the same story over and over and over. But you know, him being greedy, and then him feeling bad about his greed, and then changing. I guess you know if it never is truly fixed, it's the same. But um, I don't know. I think it works out perfectly fine. In that case, it's a kids show. It's fine to just redo the same story. Nobody's paying attention if they're kids. I mean, this isn't meant for older people to watch and be like, "Wait, they just did that again."
know somewhere along the episode, he'll just stab someone in his back for a profit. Once SpongeBob became a billion-dollar brand, it's almost like Krabs' character turned into a parody of the show itself. Anything for $1. And when the character stops growing, the story stops mattering.
Like I
There's
think
nothing
that
left
was
to
that
explore,
episode.
just new ways for him to be a jerk. But speaking about exploration, there are no characters in the show who represent exploration better than Sandy Cheeks. Sandy is one of the most interesting characters in SpongeBob. As a kid, I just loved her simply because she's a tough kid.
As a kid, the only girl in the show that wasn't a child like Pearl. Come on, dude. And she wore a bikini always.
Character. She had big goals in mind, and we know she'll always come up with a plan to reach it. She is proud to be the first mammal to break the underwater ceiling, and she is not just smart, she's also a caring friend who is always ready to stop the chaos made by SpongeBob and Patrick. Sometimes she just throws parties and surprises for her closest friends, just like the
I will say I think Sandy's one of the realest because first off, when they first got to her house, she got them sweet tea. I think that's that episode. And she went to the Karate Island to go save SpongeBob. Like she's real as fuck. I would, in my opinion, I think she's realer than Patrick in
Chocolate
some
balloon
ways.
for Patrick on Valentine's Day. Another episode, such as Karate Choppers, highlighted her stubbornness and how she challenged SpongeBob in a way no one else did. And episodes like Texas showed her homesickness, her pride in where she came from.
That's a
Behind
good
all that
episode too.
muscle and big brain move, we could see her just wanting warmth every now and then. She added variety to the group. The land mammal with intellect
I was just about to talk about that episode.
warmth every now and then. She added variety to the group. The land
I love this episode. I know in the new SpongeBob movies when they go on land or whatever, they're there and they're animated on land and people could see them. I miss when it used to be like this, like the little popsicle sticks that they were just held on. I miss
mammal with intellect and discipline, pushing SpongeBob and others to think, to train and improve. But as the seasons dragged on, Sandy faded into the background. She became the default science solution for every weird problem. Need a shrink ray? A cloning machine? A brain switcher? Call Sandy. The show stopped treating her like a character and started treating her like a tool. And the saddest part,
that. That episode is so weird.
the show stopped treating her like a character and started treating her
This episode, I understand they're not taking over, but this whole like alien takeover thing was so weird. I hate this episode so much. It used to freak me the fuck out as a kid.
like a tool. And the saddest part for me is that she loses the southern charm. Those adventurous spirits, the warm southern hospitality, and her appreciative moments are just gone. Well, at least she still has that southern Texas accent, but that alone isn't enough to showcase her character. She even rarely interacts meaningfully with the rest of the cast. The last time we could still see her having character is somewhere between season 7 and 8, with some episodes like Rodeo Days and Someone in the Kitchen with Sandy. There is some character depth there, but still not as good as the early seasons. And don't get me started with the Sandy Cheeks movie. Just, don't.
There's a Sandy Cheeks movie. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I've never heard about this. So I know this shit got zero advertisement and marketing, and on top of the fact it has to be trash.
I don't even want to talk about that. But don't get me wrong, I do kind of understand the reason behind her changes. Sandy's rational character used to be the balance in the middle of the bizarre bikini bottom. She often challenges SpongeBob and the others to be better. As the show leaned into the crazier sci-fi plots and most of the characters get simplified, they can't really make Sandy challenge them anymore. Instead, they made her help the chaos to be bigger every single time. Her personality didn't fit the new formula, so they boxed her into one trait. Smart.
Is he saying that about that episode though? Because she was helpful there, and she went all the way back there to get that weird loan shark dude away from SpongeBob.
Simple, marketable, forgettable. Sandy Cheeks went from being one of the show's most well-rounded personalities to someone who shows up when the writers need a Deus Ex squirrel. And when the show needed someone to be hated, they called Plankton.
If he's saying like the writers needed somebody to show up to save SpongeBob, that doesn't make sense though, because she has to be the one to save SpongeBob from a karate island because nobody else knows karate. And Plankton's always been the villain. Some instances he's not, like the fun episode, like
Plankton was never
they make him likable.
going to win. But that wasn't the point. He was 2 inches tall, owned the world's worst restaurant, and had one customer. A fake one. Similar to Squidward, Plankton's character often revolves around failure and insecurity. He was constantly trying to prove he was more than a loser. He wanted the Krabby Patty formula, sure, but what he really wanted was respect. And when you add Karen, his computer wife, you get some genuinely funny and emotional moments. It was dysfunctional, sure, but you could still feel for them. Episodes like FUN showed that he wasn't all evil. He was just desperate, and sometimes just sad. In the episode, SpongeBob sees through Plankton. He tries to be his
See, but that's like Plankton. I don't know if he's trying to say that it's changed now. I don't know if it is changed now, but that's like Plankton's whole character. He's like a sad dude. Like He's like he's like the dad that's like I could have went pro if my knee didn't blow out. That's like Plankton's whole character. It's like he could be better, but he's not. And then he has a bunch of people around him that are better to show him that he sucks. So it just makes him more sad and angry.
Friend, and for a minute, Plankton almost puts the evil aside before his greed took over and ruined the friendship. That kind of story gave him layers. Sure, he was the antagonist, but you kind of wanted him to get one win, just once. Because sometime, someone has to teach that greedy crab a lesson, right? There was also an episode where Plankton gave up on trying to steal the Krabby Patty recipe. He decides to shut down the Chum Bucket and open up a gift shop called Chumporium. He also manages to fix his relationship with Krabs and go to a carnival together. Both of them said sorry, and Krabs gave him the formula as a kind gesture.
Ooh, this dude's Canadian. I caught that. Sorry. Caught that.
A good redemption story, in my opinion. Well, he's not really changed, technically, since, spoiler alert, the whole gift shop is a ruse, as a trick to soften up Krabs, making him hand over his recipe willingly. Fortunately, Krabs did outsmart him in the end.
I never give you the formula!
Still, a good arc for Plankton.
But that happens so many times in the show.
It gives him some depth. But fast forward into the recent season, Plankton just became a one-liner joke. And not even a funny one. His plans stopped being clever, and his personality flattened. He's not insecure anymore, he's just loud, over the top, and constantly getting humiliated. The writers turned him into a one-trick pony. Step 1, making a scheme. Step 2, fail and get humiliated. Step 3, scream. That's it. But it gets worse. The dynamic with
I kind of always thought that was his thing, though. I mean, like, those are the steps, but other shit happens to him in it. Like, I forgot what happened, but, like, the whole episode where he's making the chum sticks and people are actually eating it, there's, like, another reason that he fails. Like, so it's like, scheme, people are eating, fails, people stop eating, and then he's mad. Like, I think that's been his character for a while.
Karen, which used to be this funny, weird little marriage, turned into the same recycled gag. Plankton fucked up, Karen insults him, Plankton yells back, Karen's coming up with something, and repeat. Plankton's case is a tragedy in my opinion. He was a good character for the villain role. He is capable of showing so many emotions for a single-celled animal, especially with his long frenemy, Krabs. It could lead to something great once his character developed, but that takes time to build. And the new version of the show didn't want to build, it wanted to sprint. So Plankton stopped being sympathetic and started being a pity. Instead of growth, they gave him a loop, just reruns with new disguises. His character just...
Oh, well, but I feel like they've been doing, like, the rerun with new disguises for so long. Like, I mean, I don't know how far back my mind can go on this show, but I've been watching, like, when SpongeBob used to fish with the glasses on, jellyfish with the glasses on. Which I know is probably older than my time, but still, I mean, I think he's kind of been, like, Flanderized, as he would say, for a while. I feel like a lot of these characters have been.
stuck, like the show itself.
This
These
is a good video,
characters
though. I
were
will
pulled
like it.
apart, torn down, and flattened piece by piece over the years. A cast of characters that once felt alive, just gone. It's clear that today's SpongeBob is made specifically for kids, and maybe
Yeah,
that's the real
Sponge
reason we
Truths.
don't find the
This was a good video. This was a really good video.